And that's a 66. Oh, same year as me. Hey guys, we have in this parking lot, I found something that's as old as me, but in way better condition. My body is not near as good as this 1966 Ford Galaxy, and it's the Ragtop flavor, which is really rare. I don't see many of these. Excellent. So we're gonna take a look at this, so stay tuned. And if you like this kind of thing, remember, subscribe, hit the like button, give me comments. I like these. We haven't seen many of these, and it's as old as I am. Except I'm gray now, and I'm fat, and this thing still looks the same. That's not really fair. So welcome to another episode of Junkyards and Barn Finds with Sean, and I'm Sean. So here's the funny thing, guys. We're walking through, we were gonna go to this car show, and there's a big car show over there, and you'll probably see some cars that we found over there. But the cool thing about car shows, especially down here in Florida, for some reason, if you go into the parking lot near a car show, you'll find some of the most interesting cars here. And so we found, actually we didn't find, the owner came and saw me videoing the Chevelle, hey, the racing Chevelle, the green and orange one. So if you want to go watch that, watch that. But he came over and we were talking, and he said, oh, he has a Galaxy 500, the XL, it's a 66 Ragtop. And I'm like, I don't see it. And he kept pointing, and I'm thinking he's pointing at these GTOs and all, and he wasn't. He was pointing to the parking lot. So I don't think we've ever featured one of these. If we did, it would have been that red one, but I don't think the red one was a Ragtop. So let me bring it. So your name is? Sid. Sid. So this is Sid, and Sid has been the owner of this car for how long?
About 20 years.
About 20 years. And it's pretty stock.
Totally stock.
So it's totally stock. Now, is this the original paint on this?
No.
Okay. So now, when you got this, did it kind of look like this, or did you do work to it?
I bought it total.
So you bought it total.
The whole front end was wrecked, and I bought a donor car. This is the old style restoration where you buy a wreck and you buy a donor car, okay, and you put them together.
And this was where, about the year 2000?
Yeah, somewhere
around there, 99, 2000. And because if we look at it, it's all steel, right?
Oh yeah, that's a 1966 front end off of a different car.
Okay, so this was built just like you would back in the 60s. You find a donor car. This ain't cheap Japanese sheet metal. This is the heavy stuff that, so this is, it's original Ford sheet metal everywhere around.
Everything on it is.
And now, is this the original color that this would have came in?
Original color.
So
original interior.
An original black interior?
That's the original interior it came with in 66.
So that's actually, that's not been redone. This is the original. Wow. And that is the condition of it. Now look, it's not brand new, guys, but here's the thing. We're in Florida, and this is a Ragtop, which means that if it starts raining right now and he's way over there, it gets wet. And it's obviously driven because you parked it in the parking lot. Yeah. You're not here you didn't park it over with the other cars, the show cars. So this is, the fact that this stuff is even still here is really amazing. And if it was a wreck, you bought it, you said, as a wreck, right? It wasn't yours before it got wrecked.
No.
So when it got wrecked, it probably sat somewhere for a little bit. What did it look like when you first was the interior? Was it nasty?
From here back, looks exactly like it did the first day.
Wow.
The only thing that's different is the front clip, as we refer to it.
And that's why you had to, that's why it basically got the repaint, obviously.
Right.
But all the convertible part, the whole body, the windows, the windowsills, the posts, all this stuff is original to it.
100% original. People say, why don't I change the carpet? See how it's worn over there?
But
on the driver's
yeah,
side?
but if it's a survivor car, it's basically a survivor car. Look how big this is. I'm a big guy. I'm like 270. Well, I'm 250 now. I actually lost 37 pounds, guys, which you know because I've been bragging about it. But I'm 6'2", and if I sit here, this has a ton of room. The only thing is my head sticks up here, and then I get bugs in my hair. So, or I get nice road burn on my bald spot. But this is, I mean, the dashboard, it's not cracked or anything else. And it says, is that 78,000 on the original miles? Mm-hmm. So this thing only has 70. That means that my 2017 truck has more miles on it than this does. That's crazy. And then, what is this, air? That's just a vent. That's a vent.
No air conditioning.
Okay. It's the automatic, and it's just got drive. Is it low? Is it 2-speed?
It's actually a 3-speed with this city gear. See the first white mark there?
This one?
Yeah, it's
okay.
An option that didn't really go over well.
Okay, so it's a 3-speed. Is it a 2-speed overdrive or a 3-speed overdrive or just 3-speed?
Just a 3-speed.
Okay, so it's 3-speed.
FX transmission.
But this has, now this is kind of strange. This has power locks, which back in the day.
No power locks.
But it has the button.
Windows.
Oh, they lock the windows?
No, those are electric windows.
No. This says lock and unlock.
Oh, that would be for the windows.
Okay, so you can lock the windows up.
Or down.
Or down. So you got power windows, but the vent window is not power.
No, that's mechanical.
So, but that's kind of, and then of course this is before they started putting the locking steering in. So you have, this is the keyboard, or the key start here, but it doesn't lock up the
nope.
And the clock, clock's not working. It stopped at 7, but that's okay. We don't, most clock. And it has, is this AM FM or just AM? The radio. Is there a way?
Damned if I know. It's never worked, and I never really.
But it's got, but that's cool, because it's, so look at this dash. So I mean, it's a real basic dash, but it's got the wood grain on it. The turn signal lights are here and there. And this is something you don't see a lot anymore, I think. Well,
yeah, pull it.
It even has the lighter. That's what's called an ashtray. Cars used to have ashtrays in them.
It's got 2 in the back too.
So, and it's got ashtrays in the back, there and there. We got somebody here who's sitting there with their Mercedes that wants to pull in while we do this. So, and then you got the full trunk, original trunk, with, so now these rims, were these the rims?
No.
Okay.
I've recently got those. Those are period, what they call baby moon chromes. Right. Which would be what fits what you would buy in '66 as an upgrade.
So that
would
so that was before anybody came out with the SS's and all the Krager SS wheels, or around that same time frame when they started coming out, and they came out with the aluminum slots at the time.
Right.
But this is how people, like, so when people in the late 50s, early 60s, when they were making their hot rod, yep. And if you look in old like hot rod magazines from so the trunk on this original, and has this been repainted as well?
Everything's been.
So when you repainted it, was it a frame off repaint?
Yep.
So you did a correct frame off repaint.
Off, doors were torn down.
Okay.
Everything is off of it.
But this is the original matting in here, obviously.
Yep.
So
original jack.
So everything in here is period correct. Except for, well, that pillow actually looks, that pillow looks like 1970s period correct.
I couldn't get a 60s pillow.
And then there is one dent here.
Yep.
So was that something that happened with you, or who knows?
Came with it.
And what?
It's the driver.
But see, the thing is you got the chrome. I mean, the chrome looks great, even with the dent. So that's kind of odd. And then the chrome tips on that, would that be something that would have came with the car, or is that a little bit of aftermarket too?
Yeah.
So, but, so tell me with the XL, before we look under the hood, the XL, what does that, do you know what that did? Like, what was the...
Okay, this is an XL, which means it was their highest body style. electric windows, bucket seats, electric top. So the XL was their higher body grade.
Okay, so that was their big trim package.
Big, that's the right word. It was their big trim package.
And then, oh, make sure we don't lose those. What is under the hood? That's now, is under the hood as well period correct, or have we played with this little day two things like headers and stuff like that?
Head bone.
So it's a 352.
Yeah, other than the
power brakes.
Yeah, it had a single master cylinder. Now
Okay.
it's got disc brakes.
Okay.
That's the only really alteration.
Right. And of course we all know that Fords have the alternate starting where you put your screwdriver and you could start them under here. Yeah. So
but the motor is the correct motor. Of course, it's
now
been
has it,
rebuilt.
I was gonna say, it's obviously been rebuilt and repainted, but it doesn't have any other day two. There's no headers or anything else on it. And it's had power steering that came with
it,
and it still has the plastic Ford bottle thingy that's here.
Well, that's an aftermarket.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
it's a reproduction.
Right, and you have the glass jug there, same thing.
Yeah, that's not original.
No. But yeah, it really keeps to the originality of it. I mean, it speaks original, even if it's not. It's been rebuilt and everything.
Well,
but
rebuilt is rings, pistons,
that's what I'm
rods.
saying.
Yes,
so it's not been bored out or anything.
well, yes, when you rebuild
Oh,
it
you
correctly.
bored yours a little bit. Okay, it's not like 30 over or 60 over.
No,
That's what I mean.
I had a race shop rebuild the engine.
Oh, okay.
He did it race specs, dead bone style.
Okay, so he basically blueprinted it.
Correct.
Okay.
Balance crank, balance.
That's what we back when in the 80s we used to call it balance and blueprint. So because the most engines back in the day were not. You could have been, if it was a Friday at 3:30 in the afternoon, it probably wasn't as good as the one from like Tuesday at noon.
Right.
So because they wanted to get out of there, so it was like, let's stick the stuff in. It wasn't probably done as correctly. So if you pulled the engine out when you did the rebuild, you replaced all the gas, anything that needed to be replacing, and then you balanced the blueprint so it's right to spec for what it should be. And you could get some horsepower from that big time. A lot.
This is not a fast car.
No.
I mean,
But I'm saying it's better than it was.
Oh, engine-wise, it's very superior because parts are so much better now.
Yeah.
In 1966, the alloys they had for pistons was poor
Right.
compared to today.
So
And the rod bearings are update, you know, just
Right.
all that's
everything's better machined, better
yeah,
they're done, better materials.
better materials.
So, and it's still running points.
I've got a trigger,
Okay.
electronic trigger.
Okay.
It's not a CD. It's still
So it's not EFI.
no, it's not.
So-
It's just instead of points, it's an electromagnet trigger.
Okay. But it's still, because it still has
Well,
the whole
they all
the
fit right in the
sparkulator,
same-
and you still have everything there, the
Oh, yeah.
coil and all. So it has the appearance of being from the day it left the factory.
The only difference, if you pull off the cap, you don't see points.
Okay.
You see a trigger.
Okay.
But other than that, and that's just a magnetic switch is all it is.
and even the air cleaner is the original.
that's it.
And the cool thing with that is, I mean, how many cars from this era have no aftermarket? You know, the fact that you have the iron exhausts on this and everything else is just amazing.
Well, the
Except for the
brakes-
brake. Well, that's a safety issue,
That's a safety
which
issue.
honestly, guys, if you're running like what a lot of these have, you guys know you have, it doesn't help you much if you do everything to the engines and everything else and you can't stop. So
And it would not stop adequately.
yeah, I mean, it's just safety, and that's something that if somebody wanted to return back, they could if they wanted.
got the
Nobody
old
ever
parts.
will,
No.
because you're probably never going to get rid of this if you
Well,
have
if I
20
do,
years.
or give it to somebody, or sell it, or whatever, you certainly can. It's mechanically not altered in any way other than bolt-on parts.
But I mean, all the chrome on this thing is just nice. Now, did you redo the chrome?
No, it's all
So
original.
that's just the way it was. It's nice and clean. The grill looks awesome. The lights are awesome. I mean, the whole car is just, This thing could be in a movie. I mean, it could be in if somebody's making a period movie of the late 60s, late 60s.
And this is the XL grill, which was...
Okay, so what would be the difference then? It has the little squares in it?
Yeah,
Is that what I'm thinking?
Yeah, there's a stamped out thing.
Right.
This is what the stainless steel XL grill.
I'll tell you what, I'm glad you came over and said something.
Well, thank you.
If you guys like this thing and I like this thing, you know, put some comments down. What do you guys think? I think it's pretty cool. I think it should be sitting over there with all the other cars, but it's getting its fair share of attention here.
And even this was originally painted gray from the factory.
So that's actually the color it should be. So
no, this piece.
Oh, it's silver now, not gray.
Silver.
Okay.
It was painted silver from the factory.
That's what I'm saying. It looks the way it should.
Yes.
Because
so it appears correct.
Right.
So a lot of people would paint that yellow to match the car.
Right.
That's not correct.
Right. So that's not primer. He didn't forget to paint that side. That's just how it came. That's how it would come.
That's how they came new.
And of course, being a Ford, everything's black in here because that's what Ford does. Ford doesn't use the body color like GM. All right. Well, very cool. Glad.
Well, thank you very much.
And glad it hasn't rained yet because I think it's going to. So
I'm going to be right.
All right, guys. Like I said, you like this kind of thing? Please subscribe. Check it out. Put some comments down. And if you really like this thing, ring the bell every time we put up a new video. There's 348 videos for you guys to watch. This will be 349.
All right, 349.
April, should they subscribe to this channel even if they don't like cars today for this one?
Probably just for this one.